Hello, thank you for joining us on Nationwide on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority. I am Ruth Aguele. Nigeria and a German consortium Siemens have signed an implementation agreement towards dramatically improving the quantity and quality of power supply in the country for sustainable growth and development of the economy. President Muhammadu Buhari, who presided over the ceremony, said fixing the power sector as a key priority for his administration is a task that must be done. We'll bring you the details during the course of the bulletin. And now let's go to judiciary matters. The Hope Democratic Party and its candidate Ambrose Owuru have closed their case before the Presidential Election Petition Court sitting in Abuja. The petitioners called only one witness to prove their case, with a failed intention to call additional witness. Daily Atumbi reports.
In this petition, Hope Democratic Party and its candidate Ambrose Owuru are claiming that in a referendum conducted on February 16, 2019, their party and its candidate polled 15 million votes. February 16, 2019 was the day the Independent National Electoral Commission earlier fixed for the conduct of the presidential election, which was shifted in line with the provision of the Electoral Act. Counsel to the petitioners, Eze Nyalugo, called the only witness that has witness statement on oath. The witness affirmed before the court that during a referendum conducted on 16 February 2019, the party and its candidate polled 15 million votes. In the light of this, the petitioners urged the court to declare their candidate Ambrose Owuru as the president. The petitioners, in their claim, are not contesting the victory of President Muhammadu Buhari in the February 23, 2019 presidential election. During cross-examination, counsel to President Muhammadu Buhari, Yusuf Ali SAN, asked the witness, the body that conducted the referendum, a question the witness could not provide any answer to. Akin Olujimi SAN, counsel to APC, and Usman Ustaz SAN, counsel to INEC, wanted to know whether the referendum was conducted in the Celestial Ward, and the witness told the court that it was conducted in Nigeria. The witness told the court he voted in the February 23, 2019 presidential election. The second witness, who was subpoenaed, could not give evidence because there was no statement on oath which he deposed to. The petitioners tendered 15 documents which the Presidential Election Petition Court admitted in evidence. Counsel to the respondent objected to the admissibility of the documents.
23rd presidential election, and he had admitted that. They are not challenging that. They have no quarrel with that. And they are not contesting that they won the February 23rd presidential election. So what are we calling witnesses for? Was there a referendum? Did you do referendum? And they agreed that INEC did not conduct any referendum. And it's only INEC that has the power to conduct presidential elections.
On to Section 2 of the Electoral Act 2010 as amended, is actually made provisions for a referendum to be conducted at the instance of the citizens. And it was pursuant to that they purported that the referendum was conducted, and that is why we're in court.
The Presidential Election Petition Court, led by Justice Mohammed Garba, adjourned to 5th August 2019 for all counsel in this matter to adopt their final addresses. In Abuja, Daily Atumbi, NTA News.
And still on the judiciary, the Supreme Court has rejected a request that it should review an earlier judgment voiding the participation of candidates of the All Progressives Congress in the last general elections in Zamfara State. Olabode Arewa tells us more.
The panel of justices led by Justice Olabode Rose-Vivo dismissed an application by counsel to the APC, Robert Clark, SAN, giving fresh reasons why the Apex Court should take another look at its earlier judgment delivered on Friday, the 24th of May 2019, where the court held that the APC in Zamfara did not conduct a valid primary election and therefore had no candidates. Robert Clark had told the court that some positions in the APC were contested unopposed at the primaries, and the Apex Court's judgment should not affect them. This includes 3 senatorial, 2 House of Representatives, and 13 state assembly positions. The Apex Court in its judgment reiterated its earlier observation that the votes scored by the APC in Zamfara remained wasted since the party failed to prove that it conducted a valid primary. Candidates of the PDP, which came second in the Zamfara elections, were subsequently issued with certificates of return by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. The Apex Court did not award any costs against the APC. In Abuja, Olabodarewa, NTA News.
The trial of Senator Elisha Abu on the charge of assault has been stalled due to the inability of the prosecution to serve him with all the materials to be used as evidence in the trial. Senator Elisha Abu, representing Adamawa North Senatorial District, was arraigned before a magistrate court sitting in Zuba in the FCT on a 2-count charge bordering on criminal force and assault on the 8th of July. But the trial could not commence because the prosecution applied for adjournment to enable it to conclude investigation. On resuming the trial, the prosecution again applied for adjournment to enable him comply with Section 350, subsection 2 of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act 2015, which states that the prosecution must serve the defense with all the materials which it wants to use as evidence in the trial to enable the defense prepare its defense and also avoid delay subsequently in the trial. Counsel to the defense did not object to that prayer on the grounds that they would have done the same.
Some of the evidence are electronically generated. They are condition precedent for their tendering. So those things are a little bit this and we needed time to get them in order and then front load all our evidence to the defendant as required by the law.
If not concluded their forensic analysis of the video that is trending to know, the authenticity and otherwise. And after doing all that, they need to serve us. So that when they serve us with all the proof of evidence, the statement of witnesses, whatever documents they intend to rely upon, we can also prepare for our defense, and then the hearing will commence.
This has been adjourned to the 20th of next month for hearing. Now, the need for intensive surveillance of organizations enjoying tax incentive to strike a balance and curb abuse has again been re-echoed on NTA's flagship program, Good Morning Nigeria. Experts, while discussing tax incentives and the Nigerian economy, say though it is not bad to give these incentives, application to maximize benefits has remained challenging. Lydia Sampson reports.
Tax incentive is meant to encourage businesses to offer services to communities. Ironically, experts observe that Nigeria has continued to lose billions of naira with little or no commensurate benefits from such tax incentives. Gaston Good Morning Nigeria therefore called for a complete overhaul to sanitize tax administration in the country.
It should be such that the cost-benefit analysis is actually put into perspective. So what do we gain when we provide certain incentives? What do we lose when we provide such incentives?
A very recent innovation from this past administration was the road and infrastructural development tax credit, which was given to certain companies, and in order to develop our federal, or we don't know if it's federal or state now, but for generally roads, you will look at such an innovation in such trying times for Nigeria as very, very laudable.
While some of the guests agrees to an improvement in assessing tax incentive benefits under this administration, others are of the view that government must bring those who abuse tax incentives to book.
There's supposed to be a guideline, a law that is guiding it in terms of either monitoring and evaluation, enforcement, defaulting and all this. So sometimes it's because of connivance with politicians, whereby whatever tax credit is given to them, they now give something out or back to the politicians that give them that waiver, and at the end of it, no any monitoring or evaluation mechanism is going to be useful, or any penalty meted on them.
You have the NIPC, you have the FROS, you want to actually see them working together. They belong to the same government. They are working in the interest of the same government. So it is challenging for us to now have a situation where they don't seem to be having a working model.
They were unanimous that the way forward is for government to intensify efforts at providing a conducive environment for investment so as to put an end to tax evasion under the guise of tax incentives. In Abuja, Lydia Samson, NTA News.
A unified procedure for the formulation and implementation of government policies and programs at all levels would enhance good governance. This is the central idea during discussions at a follow-up meeting of the office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation with secretaries to the state governments and heads of cabinet affairs offices of states in the North-East Zone held in Gombe. Emmanuel Akila reports.
In the next level of administration, the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation cannot afford to allow the traditional ways of running government continue to impede smooth operations. Hence, comes up with a meeting aimed at training the critical component of government for efficiency and effectiveness in service delivery.
It is clear that the strategic role of the Cabinet Affairs Office in supporting the effective delivery of government policies, programs, and projects stated earlier cannot be ignored. It now behoves on us to frame the Cabinet Affairs Office within our context to better serve our nation.
For progressive governors like Muhammadu Ino Yahya of Gombe State, who have a regime change in their states, the synergy with the federal government would give them a clear direction to avoid conflicting policies, reduce wastages, and set Nigeria on the trajectory of developed economies of the world.
I therefore appreciate the SDF for coordinating this important forum aimed at promoting policy development and implementation tracking to fast-track the socio-economic development of the nation.
The training is jointly facilitated by the United Kingdom's Department for International Development, DFID.
It is time for Cabinet Affairs officers to step up a bit and move away, not just focusing on the note-taking and administrative responsibilities, but to begin to actually take up more strategic roles.
The meeting is designed to come up with a community of practice to serve as a strategy that would support the states and the country in the desire to ensure sustainable growth and development. In Gombe, Emmanuel Akila, NTA News.
And from Gombe, we go to Kaduna, where Suleiman Abdullahi Rigachukung is standing by with more reports on Nationwide. Hello, Suleiman. Seem to be having some audio challenges there, but if we fix that, we'll definitely get to Suleiman. Now, let's move on to Kano. The Igbo community in Kano has joined all the concerned Nigerians in kicking against the call for the relocation of headsmen from southern part of the country. Eze Ndibu Kano, President General and Igbo traditional leader in diaspora, Igwe Boniface Ibekwe, made the Igbo's position known at a dinner to commemorate his 10th Ofala anniversary in Kano. Abdullahi Mustafa has details.
Kano is one of the states with high concentration of Igbo community outside the southeastern part of Nigeria. They play a significant role in various sectors of the state's economy. This was the main purpose of hosting the community's leadership to a dinner in honor of Igwe Boniface Ibekwe, the Eze Ndibo, on his 10th Ofala anniversary as President General and Igbo traditional leader in diaspora. The platform was used to re-echo the clarion call for unity and harmonious coexistence among Nigerians of divergent ethnic and religious backgrounds. Igwe Boniface Ibekwe, Governor Abdullah Umar Ganduje and other Igbo leaders urged the Fulani herdsmen to go about their legitimate business in any part of the country, as the nation's constitution places no impediment to that.
Why those selling their cows to continue? It's only when there is peace, that is when the businesses can thrive.
What people don't understand is that, or don't appreciate, or don't ponder on, is that we are all creatures of God.
Dr. Ganduje described the Ruga settlement project of his administration as part of measures to address some of the concerns related to the movement of pastoralists from one part of the country to another. In Kano, Abdullahi Mustafa, NTA News.
Let's rejoin Suleiman Abdullahi Rikachukun in our Kaduna Network Center. Suleiman, can you hear me?
Thank you, and a warm welcome to the Center of Learning. Torrential rains being experienced in parts of Jigawa State continue to pose threats to farmlands and residential areas, resulting in many rivers beginning to overflow their banks. Awal Muhammad Kazauri has a situation report from Dutse.
Dutse housing estate in Dutse woke up with early morning flood as a result of heavy downpour that destroyed the fence and some of the waterways surrounding the area, forcing the water to find its way in the estate. Residents, majority of whom are civil servants, could not report to work, while children could not go to schools. Many of the affected families who lost property in the flood attributed the situation to poor drainage system in the area.
Actually the rain started around 4 o'clock. This now coming down. Then I heard the noise of water coming, flowing into the house. Before I realized water had started coming into my house.
Meanwhile, as the state continues to experience torrential rains, the state government has advised people to be on alert and clear drainage system in their areas to control flooding. State Deputy Governor Alhaji Umar Namadi has visited some of the flooded areas and assured of prompt government attention. From Dutse, Awal Muhammad Kazaure, NTA News.
Private initiatives that are geared towards the development of Kaduna State are to enjoy necessary support of the El-Rufai administration. This came to the fore as Governor Nasir Ahmad El-Rufai inaugurates the board of a health intervention scheme initiated by the former Minister of Finance, Hajia Zainab Ahmed. Muhammad Umar Ajingi reports.
Elisha Audu has been in the hospital for days now, like many others who are here for treatment of one ailment or the other. With the intervention initiative of the former finance minister, 1,000 vulnerable persons like Elisha Audu in every community will be offered free medical services, covering maternal, newborn and common health cases such as malaria, diabetes and hypertension.
The BOG will identify a primary health care center within the community. So any registered member of the community is now free to access medical care, and the package of the medical care will be pre-agreed between the Board of Trustees and the primary health care agency.
For Kaduna State government, which is already working to improve the standard of its healthcare facilities and reduce financial burdens on parents, an intervention scheme such as the former minister's initiative was a welcome development.
One of the key problems faced by the poor and vulnerable when in need of medical care is the high risk of out-of-pocket expenses for consulting, diagnostics and medicines. That is why, after due consultation with the National Health Insurance Scheme, our State House of Assembly enacted the executive bill for the establishment of the State Contributory Health Scheme.
Maternal mortality, malaria, diabetes and hypertension remain major health concerns in Nigeria. But with a collaboration such as this, the vulnerable like Elisha Audu will enjoy better access to standard healthcare services. In Kaduna, I am Muhammad Umar Ajingi, NTA News.
Kano State government is to fast-track the takeoff of Kano Economic City by completing the ongoing project at the new Kano market. A committee has been inaugurated by Governor Abdullahi Umar Ganduje to hasten the process of the implementation of the market's blueprint. Abdullahi Mustafa reports that to match words with action, Governor Ganduje inspected the ongoing project to ensure its completion on schedule.
The 167 billion naira project was conceived more than 10 years ago to complement the markets in the commercial city of Kano. Work resumed 2 years ago after about a decade of suspension. Its execution is through public-private partnership and is expected to be completed in the next 3 years. About 500,000 jobs are expected to be created in the course of executing the Kano Economic City project. During an inspection visit, Governor Abdullah Umar Ganduje expressed satisfaction with the progress made so far and assured of his administration's commitment towards its timely completion.
All that we require in the market, it is available in this Kano Economic City.
When completed, the Kano Economic City will be a world-class business hub in Africa. Thereafter, Governor Abdullah Umar Ganduje inspected work on the ongoing King's Garden to the Murtala Riminkebi Road project. In Kano, Abdullah Mustafa, NTA News.
Contribution from Kaduna is back to you for more on Nationwide. Good afternoon.
Thank you, Suleiman. Now let's go on a break. We'll be back on Nationwide, so stay tuned.
National Alliance Against Drug Abuse, NADA, presents the second National Youth Conference on Drug Abuse. Theme: Reversing the Drug Abuse Trend in Nigeria. Date: Tuesday, 8 August 2019 at the International Conference Center, Abuja. Time is 9 a.m. prompt. For sponsorships, call 090-850-10,000. Proudly supported by NTA.
NTA Television College Jos announces admissions into 2-year diploma programs in film and television production, television engineering, and broadcast journalism. The sale of forms will commence on the 13th of May and run through 30th July 2019. Admission forms can be obtained from all marketing offices, NTA state capital stations, zonal centers, or at the office of the academic secretary, NTA Television College, Rayfield, Jos.
On payment of a non-refundable fee of 7,500 naira in bank draft in favor of NTA TV College. Applicants can also obtain the forms through the NTA TV College portal at www.ntatvc.edu.nj.
Applicants are required to possess 5 credits in GCE or SSCE in relevant areas of study in not more than 2 sittings, including English and mathematics. All properly completed forms attached with photocopies of credentials must be submitted on or before 30th July 2019. For further inquiries, please visit our website at ntatvc.com or call 0803-3144-383.
NTA TV College, training you to be the best you want to be.
Registrar, Announcer.
National cohesion, unity to fast-track growth and development is our focus this week on NTA's Tuesday Live. The program, every Tuesday at 10:30 p.m., promises to be informative, educative, and incisive. Don't miss it.
They are there at the crack of dawn. They are there busy preparing while we rise for our day. They are there silently, guarding, waiting, listening, and watching. They are there ready in the sky above and the waters below, in the blistering heat of the day, in the dead of night, willing, indefatigable, determined in the defense of the sovereignty of our country. They are our first line of defense and our last. They who have paid the ultimate price in defending us. They are fathers and uncles. They are mothers and sisters and girlfriends and boyfriends. They are brothers and cousins and best friends and neighbors. They are classmates, colleagues, and citizens of this nation. They are our defenders and deserve our respect, our prayers, our thoughts. Nigeria, please support our armed forces.
Thank you for staying tuned. Let's now join Michael Laleye in our Lagos Network Center for more reports on Nationwide. Hello, Michael.
Hello, Ruth, and welcome to Lagos. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has described the General Overseer of the Four Square Gospel Church, Reverend Felix Medoye, as a leader who radiates the grace of God. He was speaking in Lagos at the public presentation of the biography of the General Overseer. Ruth Ario Samuel has the reports.
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo said the gospel is better preached by exemplary lives of Christians, and Reverend Medoye is one who has exemplified Jesus Christ.
His life is an epitome of the grace of God. The grace of God, as we all know, meaning the unmerited favor of God in the life of the man.
We all are products of God's abiding grace. But not every human being is humble enough to acknowledge God for his grace.
Part of our aim is to bring righteousness to governance. If we get it right on all of the narratives and all of the things in Lagos, perhaps we'll have a very positive correlation for Nigeria.
I say that this is a very good book, well written, well researched, deep in content, and very, very unpretentious.
General Overseer, Foursquare Gospel Church in Nigeria, Reverend Felix Medoye, is optimistic that the book will aid Christians and the clergy balance their family life and work with God. In Lagos, Ruth Ario Samuel, NTA News.
The former governor of Abia State, Orji Uzor Kalu, has appeared before Justice Muhammad Idris at the Federal High Court, Lagos, to answer charges leveled against him as a governor. Orji Uzor Kalu, who was the governor of Abia State between 1999 and 2007, is facing a 39-count charge of corruption and money laundering. Abolore Ogbara reports.
The 7.6 billion naira fraud brought against the former governor of Abia State, now representing Abia Central in the Senate, has dragged on for 13 years. In July 2018, the Federal High Court in Lagos dismissed a no-case submission filed by the former governor in the trial for alleged corruption, where he challenged the jurisdiction of Justice Muhammad Idris to continue hearing the case after his elevation to the Court of Appeal. But his defense team were ordered to open defense. Incidentally, when the case came up Monday, 21st July 2019, his defense counsel, Awal Kalu SAN, presented a letter seeking an adjournment of the trial based on the fact that he has an election petition trial at the tribunal. The prosecution counsel, Rotimi Jacobs SAN, insisted on the commencement of the trial, which Justice Idris granted but adjourned to the 26th of August to enable the first defendant, Orji Uzor Kalu, open his defense. Orji Uzor Kalu is being charged for corruption along with his then Commissioner for Finance in Abia State, Ude Jones Udeogu, and his company, Sloke Nigeria Limited, in Lagos. Abolore Ogbara, NTA News.
The Lagos State government has ordered all transportation unions, roadside traders, oil barons, and all forms of illegal business operations on road medians along the entire stretch of Lagos-Badagry Expressway to the corridors of Oshodi-Abule-Egba axis to vacate or face arrest. The permanent secretary in the Ministry of Transportation, Taiwo Salam, gave the order in Lagos. Nosa Osula reports.
The order to the affected groups to vacate the affected corridors has become imperative to arrest the increasing disorderliness still being experienced on the Lagos-Badagry and Oshodi-Abule-Egba roads.
Task Force is already planning an operation in that area. As soon as you're going to see the operation,
there must be synergy between the LASMA officer and the transport workers.
The permanent secretary explained that the decision to oust the affected persons and businesses from the roads has been reached by an interministerial ad hoc committee set up by the government in the wake of the May 30th executive order issued by Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu on zero tolerance for traffic and environmental nuisances, as well as indiscriminate dumping of refuse across the metropolis of Lagos. The permanent secretary, Ministry of the Environment, added that the vacation order will enable the government move in swiftly and clear the nuisance on the corridor, as well as restore sanity in the environment.
There will be that continuous massive operation for about 3 weeks. But after 3 weeks, there will be sustainability of the whole exercise. Because the beauty will not just be to remove and then after a while we have them back.
The ad hoc interministerial committee comprises Ministries of Transportation, Environment, Works and Infrastructure, Task Force on Miscellaneous Offences, Lagos State Parks and Gardens Agency, and Lagos Waste Management Authority. In Lagos, Nosa Osula, NTA News.
That's our contribution from Lagos. Nationwide continues in Abuja.
Thank you, Michael, and welcome back to Abuja. Now, advocacy for more women inclusion in governance and other sectors of the economy has been taken further, with one of them writing a book on the plight of the African woman and her journey to gender equality. Kende Olale was at a public presentation of the book titled African Woman, a city erected on a mountain that cannot be ignored.
In the words of late African leader Nelson Mandela, freedom cannot be achieved unless women have been emancipated from all forms of oppression. Mandela's words at Marble resonate with a number of advocacies on gender inclusion in Nigeria. In the vanguard for this inclusion are women, notably Loveline Ukachi, an accountant with decades of experience. But what's the lure for Loveline?
It's all gender inequality, disparity, discrimination. As no matter your profession as a woman, that gender discrimination affects you. So that is why I came out to write, to say, no, these things are wrong. We are created by the same God. We are created in the image of God. And we are equal before the law.
Loveline's aspiration for womanhood is encapsulated in a book, African Woman, a city erected on a mountain that cannot be ignored. The book seems to echo Mandela's vision about what women can achieve if given the chance. Participants at the book launch equally share this view.
Men have their place in every home, in every family, and in the society.
As we're crying out day by day, we're also seeing the changes. Our men are responding. Society is responding to women. And I want to thank God that it's getting better.
And like the great Madiba, expectations are that Loveline's book would inspire more women inclusion in the process of national development. In Abuja, Kende Olale, NTA News.
Community in Enugu debunks story on alleged poisoning of cow meat. This and more from our Enugu Network Center with Bright Ebochuo. Hello, Bright. Good to see you.
Thank you, and welcome to Enugu. Leaders of the Ihe community in Ogun local government area of Enugu State have dismissed as untrue the social media report alleging that the mysterious death of vultures in community were as a result of a poisonous cow meat sold at the K market. Speaking to NTA News crew who visited the K market, scene of the incident, the President Federated Association of the Town Unions, Mr. Tony Ude, said the cause of the death to be ascertained. Jude Abugu now reports.
The video being circulated on social media attributed the deaths of vultures en masse in the community to a poisoned cow slaughtered for meat in the market, on whose disposed body parts the vultures feasted on. Subsequently, different versions of the story began to circulate on social media. These stories were, however, debunked by members of the community who narrated to NTA News crew how the community was thrown into confusion following the mysterious incident.
Market scattered, both women, men, children. Everybody run away. Vultures dying. Anyone will fall down. He carried something meat for mouth. And any flies will come for that mouth where the vulture come. The fly do die.
General officers from Ogo were here yesterday to assess the situation and know what actually happened. So we're still waiting for the report of the vet officer from Ogo. Actually, we also got in touch with the State Ministry of Health in Ogo. And they are on top of the situation as well.
The town union president said a team of veterinary and health officers from Ogu local government area disposed the carcass of the birds the previous day. He charged the government to ensure that veterinary and health officers are always on ground to check health status of animals before they are slaughtered in every market in the country. The crew also noticed the presence of security operatives, veterinary and health officers who are working with the members of the community to unravel the circumstances surrounding the mysterious deaths of vultures in Ihe community. In Enugu, Jude Abugu, NTA News.
A team from the Forensic Unit of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, is currently in Enugu to conduct forensic and psychological assessments of its personnel geared towards establishing a national forensic database that will ensure efficiency and professionalism in the nation's internal security. Jude Abugo again witnessed the kickoff of the exercise and now reports.
The Forensic and Psychological Assessment exercise is a brainchild of the current Commandant General, Abdullahi Ghana Mohammed, whose commitment to the overall well-being of the officers and men of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps gave birth to the initiative, which will be carried out periodically. The exercise, according to the team leader, Ogunredi Emmanuel Okpeyemi, will test the personnel on their tolerance level, temperament, attitude, motivation, introversion, among others.
One of the purposes of the exercise is to determine the behavioral trait of personnel. And in determining the behavioral trait of every personnel, we want to know which personnel needs an intervention.
In her address while unveiling the forensic text battery to be used for the exercise, the state commandant informed the personnel that the outcome of the exercise will assist NSCDC's management in taking decisions concerning personnel and will ensure that every personnel is deployed to units where he or she will be more effective.
Just the money, but it doesn't look at money when things go are being considered. The important thing is it necessary for the Corps? Will it push us forward? Will it make our image better?
Some participants expressed hope that the exercise will bring about improvement in their service to the nation. In Enugu, Jude Abugu, NTA News.
A one-day advocacy workshop against drug and substance organized for secondary school has ended in Owerri, with a call on students to secure their future by not indulging in drug abuse. Loretta Arizegun reports that the event, which was organized by the Nigerian Pharmaceutical Council of Nigeria, has the state governor, Emeka Ihedioha, in attendance.
Governor Ihedioha, who was represented at the event, said drug and substance abuse have become an epidemic that requires urgent attention. The Dean, Faculty of Pharmacy, University of Ibadan, alongside the Assistant Commissioner of Police, described drug and substance abuse as a threat to the economy and security of the country. Most social vices as rape, cultism, kidnapping, they added, are influenced by drug abuse.
It affects all the mental faculties, your feelings, your cognition, and even your behavior.
Do not use drugs. Don't do it. Stay clean.
Other stakeholders pointed out kidney, heart, and liver failure as effects of drug and substance abuse. They therefore call on both parents, teachers, and government to do the needful in order to rid the society of drug abuse.
Medicines of abuse are usually used by people for various reasons, which may include curiosity and peer pressure.
Taking drugs is a danger to the society at large.
Some students speak on the gains of the workshop.
Dangers of these drugs, it makes someone mentally deranged.
The event featured question and answer session. In Owerri, Loretta Arinze-Egwim, NTA News.
That's our contribution from Enugu. It's back to Ruth in Abuja for more nationwide.
You're right. And now from Enugu, we move to Jalingo. More than 6,000 farmers in Taraba State have benefited from federal government Anko Borrow scheme through the Northeast Commodity Association, NECAS. Joseph Austin has an update on impact in Taraba State.
The Northeast Commodity Association, NECAS, is an organization that has over the years been assisting farmers access funds and farm inputs for improved production. The association has keyed into the federal government Anko Borrow scheme to support farmers in the zone improve production. Through the program, fertilizers, seedlings, tractors, and processing equipment, among other farm chemicals, are being distributed to farmers.
Last year, I'm using my strength to farm, I'm using my strength to do everything, but this time around, NECAS has at least considered me as a farmer. They give me the gen and everything.
NECAS started making impacts in Taraba State in 2018 and has so far distributed farm inputs to over 6,000 farmers, mostly producers of rice, maize, and soya beans, among other crops.
With the support the NECAs give, with their extension workers, with the help of the extension workers, I now look at it this way. Rice is the most simplest crop that somebody will farm in an easiest way.
If you have any problem with the crops, they do come with the professionals to come and advise accordingly.
The association has been monitoring the progress of the farmers involved in the scheme to ensure that the right methods and processes are applied for quality yields and to enable them pay back loan facilities.
Last year, we have about 2,625 farmers that benefited in this Taraba state. Now we have more than 4,000 that are going to benefit.
Through this program, farmers are expected to pay back with their yields.
Back we are seeing is for last year. They are almost around 2,400 plus that have succeeded. And this year almost the same thing.
The program is not only impacting positively on the farmers, but the entire state, as prices of grains have significantly reduced in the market. In Jalingo, Joseph Sound Utsen, NTA News.
You're still watching Nationwide. We'll go on another break. We'll be back, so stay tuned.
The Nigerian national flag is a sacred national symbol. It is a mark of patriotism and a show of love for our nation to fly the national flag correctly, in the right colors, right dimension, and in the right sizes for each occasion. In recent times, it has been noticed that government offices, corporate organizations, banks, embassies, and other notable institutions fly faded, shredded, and haggard-looking versions of the national flag. This is wrong and must stop. It has also been noticed that some citizens prefer to popularize the national flag of other nations. Fellow countrymen and women, let us be patriotic. Come, let us show love for our motherland. Fly the correct versions of our national flag in all relevant places. Be patriotic. Be proud ambassadors of our great country.
This message is from the National Orientation Agency.
These days, people get their news and information from more media sources than ever before. Some of the news and information given are fake, unverified, doctored, and manufactured to create confusion, stir disaffection, and cause disunity. Before you believe or share any news, ask yourself, is this real? Is it from a credible source? Is it verified or verifiable? Fake news is dangerous, whether you do it for fun or for political gains. Real people can get hurt. Fake news, don't create it, don't spread it.
This is a public service announcement from NTA. When you hear that sound, you know that Nigeria's most authentic newscast is about to begin. NTA Network News, breaking the news for over 40 years.
Thank you for staying tuned. At the start of this bulletin, we told you that Nigeria and a German consortium, Siemens, have signed an implementation agreement towards dramatically improving the quantity and quality of power supply in the country. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo has the details.
The Director General, Bureau of Public Enterprises, Alex Oko, signed for Nigeria, while Joe Kesa, President and Chief Executive Officer of Siemens, as well as Onyeche Tifansi of Siemens Nigeria, signed for the German company. Under the agreement, to be implemented in 3 phases, 7,000 megawatts of reliable power is to be achieved by 2021, and by 2023, Nigeria's operational grid capacity will be raised to 11,000, in addition to the elimination of all bottlenecks in the transmission and distribution system. The overall grid capacity is expected to rise to 25,000 megawatts in the third and final phase.
This project will not be the solution to all our problems in the power sector. However, I am confident that it has the potential to address a significant amount of the challenges we have faced for decades. Our intention is to ensure that our cooperation is structured under a government-to-government framework. No middleman will be involved so that we can achieve value for money for Nigerians. We also insist that all products be manufactured to high-quality German and European standards and competitively priced.
President Muhammadu Buhari said with the strong commitment of his administration to the development of Mambila hydroelectric and the various solar projects across the country, Nigeria is on the path to achieving reliable, affordable, and quality power supply necessary for economic growth and development.
Our goal is simply to deliver electricity to Nigerian businesses and homes. It is our hope that as the power situation improves, we will improve investor confidence, create jobs, reduce the cost of doing business, and encourage more economic growth in Nigeria.
The President and Chief Executive Officer of Siemens, Joe Kesa, had described the agreement as a product of the high-level talks between President Muhammadu Buhari of Nigeria and the German Chancellor Angela Merkel in August last year.
The implementation of this agreement will strengthen Nigeria's energy system. It will have a huge ripple effect on the country's economy as a whole. It will create thousands of new, qualified and well-paid jobs. It will enable the establishment of small and medium-sized businesses. And it will enhance Nigeria's industrialization and stability as one of the leading nations of the African continent.
Despite various interventions towards solving power problem in Nigeria by previous administrations, so far only an average of 4,000 megawatts of power has been achieved out of an estimated generating capacity of over 13,000 megawatts. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
And still on the presidency, Governor Emeka Ihedioha of Imo State says states and the federal government will have to work together for the development of the nation. The governor, during a courtesy visit to President Muhammadu Buhari, explains that his administration is already working with relevant agencies in the state to instill transparency and accountability in the system. Briefing the press after the closed-door meeting with President Muhammadu Buhari, the governor says all leakages are being blocked and new measures are being taken towards improving the financial status of the state. Governor Ihedioha says he's seeking the collaboration of the federal government to improve infrastructure in Imo State. State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports that the governor expresses satisfaction that a meeting with President Muhammadu Buhari will produce desired outcomes.
Strengthening of ties between the federal government and Imo State government. We certainly have to work together to collaborate. We've been voted by our respective parties and our people representing our respective parties in government. But today you work for the people and govern for the good of the people. For us in Imo State, we seek for collaboration and understanding of the federal government with our peculiar situation. A lot of challenges, and so we need support. I'm encouraged by the response he gave, and the government would appreciate, the federal government would support us in ways we are doing. And I am certain that by the time we keep doing things right the way we are, it will enhance the symbiotic relationship between the federal government and the state government. Yes.
All right, now let's join Naomi Abuku in Maiduguri with more reports from that end. Hello, Naomi.
Hello, Ruth, and welcome to Maiduguri. Governors of Lake Chad Basin have applauded the efforts of national forces and multinational joint task force in improving security situation in the region and the steps taken to enhance civil-military cooperation. This was part of the 13-point communique adopted at the end of the second meeting of Lake Chad Basin Governors Forum for Regional Cooperation on Stabilization, Peace Building and Sustainable Development held in Niamey, Niger Republic. Muhammad Goni reports.
Governors of the Lake Chad Basin resolved to enhance cross-border security cooperation to facilitate trade, enhance economic recovery, and boost livelihoods of over 19 million people living in the area. The forum pledged to adopt common regional priorities in areas of rehabilitation and reintegration of victims of Boko Haram insurgency, including participatory governance, women and youth empowerment, and increased engagement with civil society, traditional and religious leaders. The Governors Forum equally welcomed the launch of $100 million regional stabilization facility. It also commended the government of Nigeria Republic for hosting the conference and appreciated the technical support of the African Union, United Nations Development Programme, and other partners.
We met with the President of Niger and discussed with my colleagues to strengthen border security as well as promote trade among the three countries.
The forum agreed to hold its next conference in Cameroon on the 18th of July 2020. In Maiduguri, Mahmoud Goni, NTA News.
About 8 states of Cameroon, Chad, Niger, and Nigeria affected by Boko Haram insurgency will benefit from the $100 million regional stabilization facility launched by the United Nations Development Programme, UNDP, for the Lake Chad. This was one of the high points of the second meeting of the Lake Chad Basin Governors Forum held in Niamey, Niger Republic. Pauline Kujevana reports.
The facility will serve as a rapid response mechanism to help local authorities curtail activities of the insurgents and improve basic service delivery and livelihood of the affected communities. UNDP Regional Director for Africa, Ahuna Ezokunwa, maintained that the facility will restore hope to affected population, especially women and youth who bear the brunt of the crisis.
To many people who had nothing to do with it. Extreme violence has eroded and in some cases fractured the bonds and relationships within groups and communities, with the poorest and the most vulnerable.
The regional facility, which will be operational in 1st of September this year, will be implemented for a period of 2 years in the 8 affected states of Cameroon, Chad, Niger, and Nigeria. In Maiduguri, Pauline Kujevana, NTA News.
That is it from Maiduguri. Is back to Ruth in Abuja.
Thank you, Naomi. Now, one gift that has over time become a regular for Muslim pilgrims to Saudi Arabia is date palm, as they take it back to their home countries to share with friends and family. Lami Ali in this report traces the history and religious significance of dates.
Date palm is among the most ancient tree in the world, dating as far back as 4000 BC. Its mention in Jewish, Christian, and Islamic religions was due to the influence of Prophet Ibrahim, who was born in the present-day Iraq, where dates originated from. Dates are mentioned 50 times in the Bible and 20 times in the Quran.
Our Prophet ﷺ told us, "Ni'ma sahur al-mu'min at-tamr." The best suhoor, pre-fasting food for a mu'min is the date. And one of the main qualities in the date is its high potassium level. Potassium saves you from thirst. The date palm is the one that Allah told Maryam alayhi salam to go under and sit under and shake it and get the rutab, the fresh rutab. Right? Even some of the scholars of Tib Nabawi, they say that the fresh rutab are very good for the pregnant woman after she's given birth.
Saudi Arabia is among the top 3 date-producing countries. Here in Medina, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, there are quite a number of date farms in the neighborhood. We decided to come to one of the farms to have a feel of the culture of the Middle East. There are more than 1,400 named varieties of dates, but the most popular for Muslim pilgrims is called Ajwa.
I bought these dates because it's very medicinal.
I bought it at the rate of 40 real.
The Ajual, which is the debt that has a lot of benefit from it. We are meant to understand that it provides a very good cure for so many things. And another thing is the Zamzam.
Whatever you take here, you know you are taking a pure thing. Pure, as said by the Holy Prophet. And we believe in it, and we buy them in the belief that when you pray over it and you take it, whatever you have, in terms of illness or anything, God has promised that is going to be healed.
So, when next you get a gift of a date from pilgrims, remember its spiritual benefits and nutritional as well as medicinal value. From Medina, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Lami Ali, NTA News.
And looking forward to mine from Lami. And now to sports, Olumide Oguntola has details.
National champion Taiwo Mati from Ondo State has emerged the new under-21 champion of the Youth League after a 3-2 win at the expense of fellow state player Ome Amadi. Iyanu Oluwafalana won the female event 4-3 against Vivian Oku Ekpeyong. Okanlawan Usman and Jimoh Rofiat were also crowned champions of the junior boys and girls after emerging victorious in their various events.
Winning today it's another glory for me.
I've been meeting like 4 times in the qualifier. I couldn't win. I come to the table today. I play what I think. I practice it and I win.
Our national team, very good shape. Senior players coming to their. Some of them will be coming to the end of their careers probably in the next few years. So we need to keep on producing new players, and this is how to do it.
In tennis, the International Tennis Academy continues its grassroots talent hunt as attention shifts to the 2019 Junior Tennis Championship slated for Tuesday in Lagos. The main objective of the tournament is to discover new talent.
We hope that from this search process across the nation, we can give opportunities to children to showcase their talent, get spotted, and by the grace of God, with the sponsors, groom them to the best that they can be.
In another development, in its bid to discover budding talent at the grassroots, the Nigeria Volleyball Federation, in conjunction with the Federal Ministry of Sports, is organizing a seminar for Games Masters at the 6 zonal centers across the nation. The Southwest Zonal Seminar is holding on Wednesday at the Obafemi Awolowo Stadium, Ibadan, Oyo State.
Now we are going down to the grassroots. How can we get the grassroots? It is through the Games Masters of schools. So I know very well that this is not going. We are going to get new players.
Stakeholders say it is a right step in the right direction. With sports update, Olumide Oguntola, NTA News.
And that concludes Nationwide today. Thank you for being a part of it. Do have a pleasant evening. I am Ruth Aguele.